I'm here with the legend himself of broadcasting who needs no introduction. Or if you want an introduction, it's Bill Raftery. You heard his voice on Fox. You heard his voice on CBS. Welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me. Very nice of you.
This is Raftery, nothing but that sports talk, just to give you my introduction. Now, like, as long as you've been covering Big East basketball and college basketball, like, what do you think makes the Big East like an important conference to college basketball?
Well, it's basketball central. Basically, it's not a football conference. It's a conference that attracts kids who love the game, and particularly here on the East Coast. And this year, I can't remember a year where you're not sure who can win it and how deep the league is. So there's a potential of 6 or 7 teams making the NCAA tournament. It's pretty exciting.
And why don't you tell me, name your 3 teams to watch in the Big East coming up?
Well, Marquette won it last year, and UConn won the national title. So you got to start with teams like that. But I wouldn't discount anybody, no matter who it was. I just think it's deep. St. John's, Georgetown with a new coach and new kids. So you start adding them all up. And I haven't mentioned Creighton, who's outstanding, preseason top 10. So I think it's going to be a war each and every evening.
Like, when you see the way that the Big East team's landscape changed with Rick Pitino being the coach and you coming in defending champions and Marquette being the Big East champions, like, what do you think? What is like the whole expectations for the Big East to become a better conference this year than in recent seasons?
Well, it's the evaluation anymore is not necessarily on the regular season. It's on what you do in the NCAA tournament. So the more the merrier. If they can get that many teams in, 6 or 7, it's going to bode well for the conference.
I've been following your career ever since, like, in the mid-2000s, where you also used to have a call, Onions, Baby Onions. Like, how did that whole call came about when you started your broadcasting career?
Well, I always say I didn't go to Harvard, so there's not much up in there. Just being spontaneous about somebody making a big play, and that's just shot out there, and everybody uses it now.
And why do you use the words "a little kiss" to reference any backboard shot that a college basketball player makes?
Well, just a bank shot doesn't seem to resonate too much, and I just started using that early on in my career, and hopefully people like it and enjoy it.
And last question for me, what makes St. John's and the Big East teams important when playing at Madison Square Garden?
Well, the Garden is the Mecca, obviously. Every kid grows up. You hear the NBA guys with invariably their favorite arena to come play in is right here. So that adds to it. And obviously St. John's, everybody excited because of Rick Pitino and what he can bring to the Garden with his team and how successful they're going to be. So there's a lot more excitement. You can feel it just with the turnout here at Media Day.
Appreciate the insight. Good luck, Bill.
Thank you.
Can't wait to hear your voice this season.
Thank you.